Keep me on your toes. Keep everybody on your toes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, viewers of all ages, welcome to the Everything and Nothing Show. I'm just one of your hostess with the mostest, Clayton Kisco, and I'm, of course, accompanied by the rest of the Maelstrom Gamers. You guys can see him here. You can hear him. We are starting with the bad boy, Steve Landis. Welcome, Steve. Yeah. Next up, the Tower, Alan Tollner. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great, man. Just snapping some pics.
Nice. I like that. Great. He's into photography now. That's great. And next up is the heartthrob. Every guy wants to be him. Every woman wants to be with him. Rocco Avellino.
Croissants.
Rock likes croissants. It's great. And lastly, you hear him, but you never see him until we get $44 more on patreon.com/MaelstromGamers. Ian.
How you doing?
The Enigma.
What's going
I always
on,
love
guys?
his bow.
There's always it's just so anticlimactic when I'm just like, and the Enigma, Ian. And it's just like, there's no last
It should be like
name, but
explosions.
yeah, we need something like that.
Perhaps
All right,
on the way down, you can go. You can go back up.
You could, yeah. All right, that works. A nice Hulk bow.
I like the Hulk mask.
Yeah. For those of you guys who don't know or are just joining us, the format of the show is pretty simple. All these Maelstrom Gamers, we hop on to Skype. We're all over from different parts of North America, all different walks of life. We each bring a topic for our discussion and, more importantly, for your entertainment. Each topic is its own little video on YouTube, and we send it out Monday through Friday, topic by topic. And on Saturday, all the topics are rolled up, and it's full episode. You can watch each one back to back, and that's all free, and it's on YouTube. If you'd like to get that earlier, you can go on to patreon.com/MaelstromGamers, and you can donate as little as $1 up to whatever you want, and you can get that video early. You can get the MP3 early. You can we'll even give you a free episode exclusively for Patreon supporters. And another big thing about Patreon is any dollar that goes to us is really, really great support, and we appreciate it, and that goes into better equipment and the such. It goes right back into the show. You can also go to our YouTube page, and you can click the little support button, and you can donate there. Really, really helpful. If you want to help us out and you don't have money to spend, we totally understand that. You can keep watching our shows on YouTube for free when it comes out. And you can also, for free, just click on the subscribe button, go on to Facebook and like us, go on to Twitter and follow us. That free support really, really helps. It gets our audience brand out. I can't. I'm so distracted by the nipple touching that's happening. For those of you who are listening to MP3, I apologize. You're not going to see the Heartthrob's nipple. But if you go onto YouTube/the Maelstrom Gamers channel, you can see it for yourself.
Oh, guys, that's awesome.
So
I
you
would like to
completely
spotlight
screwed
two
my
things.
train of thought there, Rocco.
I was
I
trying.
can't finish. That was good. Well, look, that
Well, I'm
support
awake
really
now.
means a lot to us. Liking, following, subscribing, commenting especially. We just want to hear from you. We want to know what you're thinking, and we'll talk back to you. And then if you hadn't had enough of that, you can go on to twitch.tv/TheMaelstromGamers, and you can watch what we do best, which is show off our mediocre gaming skills. We are not the best, but we're certainly not the worst. What are we, guys? We are entertaining.
We
are. Yeah, so hop on to that.
semi-pro.
We're also live streaming on YouTube now, and
Yeah.
we're really liking that. So we got live streams going on all over the place. All right, that's the rigmarole. That's the whole, hey, you guys should support us spiel. We'll get that out of the way. Let's move on to the good stuff that you guys came on to see.
The
Can I
topics.
spotlight two things, guys? A, Steven's shirt. Let's see it. You got to show the world.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Nice.
I like that. Yeah,
And
that is that
Alan's-
Rocket Raccoon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I would love that, but it's not. It's just a guy. He's like a barbershop. He's like,
Oh, what? I thought it was Rocket.
no, it's not Rocket.
Oh, then
That's a
it's-
raccoon,
it's
though.
as
I'm
cool.
not
Rocco's
crazy,
whole
right?
world just like went
Like,
crumbling
that's
down.
It's Rocket. It's Rocket, guys. It's
I was
Rocket.
like, I was
Okay,
watching
thank you.
Guardians of the
This.
Guardians.
Just,
the other night.
yeah, Hulk's out. Alan's
It's
dancing.
Rocket.
This.
Rocket with a cool hairstyle.
And I was also wanting to spotlight Alan's sweet posters that he put up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So sexy.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. That leopard blazer is happening, man.
Oh,
It's
man.
Kevin Bacon, man.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't look like Kevin Bacon. It's so Kevin
It
Bacon.
looks like it, man.
All right, so let's start with our first topic.
It's on my
Let's-
shoulder.
Yeah, he's just kind of sitting there. Enigma, I'm gonna pick on you, man.
Okay, great. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, guys, I want to know your favorite video game of all time. And
Okay.
I can go ahead and kick it off. I've played a lot of games in my life and everything, but the one that always sticks out in my mind is Final Fantasy VII, because that game was just badass.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
well, how is that badass to you though? Because like Final Fantasy, I've never been a fan of, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always liked RPGs. I like the style of the game. I just thought the storyline was awesome. And of course, the main character, Cloud, had this big ass badass sword. That's what I really like.
So,
He
Ian,
was compensating for.
that's a really good point, Alan. There is something he was compensating for.
His really big hair.
Yeah.
It's really big hair.
So, Ian, Rocco brings up a really good point, and we have listeners who might not even be familiar with video games in general. Can you give us a little bit of, what Final Fantasy VII really is and why it being what it is important? Whoa, behind the scenes. Look at that. So, why Steve-O's setting back up? Yeah, could you just kind of give us a little more elaborate detail on what it is and why it is so great?
Okay, well, I really like the storyline. It was a long game, and back then it was on PlayStation 1. And actually, I want to say it came out with 3 discs. I don't know if you guys remember back then when games like would
3
come
discs
in,
is a lot.
yeah,
Usually games come in with 1 disc, and then when you have any game on any generation say that you need more than 1 disc, you're like, geez, this game is huge. And you feel even better, right? Because it's like, wow, I kind of got 2 games in one, right? Because it's so big with so much content.
And that's the thing, is that I really enjoyed it. It was a long game, and again, just I just like the fighting style. I think they did really well with it. A lot of games that I play, like the storylines I don't care about, but that game I really like that storyline.
See, that's something I gotta say. You said you like the fighting style of Final Fantasy. That's actually what I don't like about Final Fantasy. So anybody out there who doesn't know about that game, it's like it's an exchange of like attacks. Like I want to do this attack, I want to do this attack.
Yeah.
Well, you liked Pokemon Stadium though, didn't you?
That was fine for a quick second, but not something that I would say would be my favorite game.
Gotcha.
That turn. What do you guys call it? You said
Turn-based.
Turn-based game. That for me is like something. It's just a little slow. That's
Rocker, you want something that's more like real time.
and that's where everybody differs a little bit. Differs a little bit. I like that stuff where real time in the opponent's real time too.
Yeah. It's more twitchy.
Although the graphics in the story though, like when I had played Final Fantasy, I agree with you on that. Like at that time, that was pretty legit.
I also know we have a couple viewers who don't necessarily know exactly like that type of game, and for those of you who don't know, I'll make this very quick because there's a lot that do know, so I don't want to bore them either. But it's Japanese RPG, which is to say it's a Japanese role-playing game. So the idea is that you have a character, it's very narrative driven, and you have all these like crazy stats like attack and defense, and all you're doing is while progressing the story and going from point A to point B, you're fighting monsters in this Rocco's favorite turn-based style of play, and afterwards you're getting experience points that you dump into these stats to get better, and it's really just that it's like a spreadsheet. You're just adding these points in to get stronger, and then you get gear, and that helps you as well. So that's my spiel.
It's a really good story though. So I agree with you though on that, Ian, for sure. At least from my own perspective.
Then Rocco, what's your favorite?
Me?
Of all
Oh
time.
man.
Alan, were you going to say something though first?
I have never played any Final Fantasy game,
You haven't?
and I have no interests actually
Ever.
So
I'm
why
serious,
is that?
because it's kind of the same reason Rocco doesn't like them. Like when I first saw like my friends playing that back when like Final Fantasy 6 and 7 and all those were coming out, I saw it and it was like turn-based, and I was like used to Halo and like Mario and all these other games, and I was just like, this looks so boring.
Yeah.
So I really had no interest at it, and the style didn't really click with me either. That was the first time I really saw like a really like Japanese style looking game. So I was like, I mean, I'm sure I played lots of Japanese games if I played Nintendo, obviously, but that game specifically, its art style was like the crazy hair and like the absurd costumes and like the giant sword. And I was just like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I never knew that, Alan. Like I felt the same way around that time. In fact, my first RPG was really Xenogears. And it wasn't the Final Fantasy series.
Xeno Saga.
What is that game?
Xenogears was a PlayStation game, again, multiple discs. Pretty much, what was interesting, Rocco, is that what I liked so much about that was the story was very interesting because there was a lot of not even really subtle, but biblical references, and so that kind of was like very interesting to see them tackle that. Like the story, it's like the Babel Tower. I think I'm butchering this, but the idea is that humans build a tower to kill
Try
God,
to get to heaven,
right?
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Or to get to heaven or kill God, and like,
Yeah.
there's all these like subtle like things and like reincarnation like themes throughout, and it just kept it interesting to me. But what was cool is that, you know, it was your classic JRPG, except the combat was combo based.
JRPG, Japanese role-playing game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
But the combat was combo based, and I never played really a lot of Final Fantasy, so I'm pretty sure this is not how they did it. But the idea is that like you would have an energy meter, and as you attack, you can save up to do a combo later, and then you do like square, triangle, X, and you just see like your character do this like crazy cool animated like sprite based like fireball attack and stuff. You're like, dude, that's awesome. And if you experimented, that's how you learn new ones. Yeah. And it was just really neat. Like I really liked it. But
I gotcha. Well, I guess, this one's difficult for me because there was two different moments in my life that like these games by far like have captured me in multiple different levels, not just the gaming level, like my personal life, like my what do you call it? My social life even too. You know, so which one's the best? Right now they're between EverQuest and World of Warcraft. So World of Warcraft I got involved with in college. And you know, awesome time, you know, got to play with the Maelstrom gamers. We had an incredible time. EverQuest was I was, I think, 13, 14, and this was high school before college, and was the first introduction that I had to an MMO in RPG. So I would say best game of all time, I'm going to probably go with EverQuest. I've replayed it, and I'm going to say that it's not that great anymore. But at that time, I mean, from memories, if I'm going to go back in memories and try to say, okay, let's not playing the game today, but going back in my memories, what I feel was the best, I'm going to say EverQuest. And the reason why I'm going to choose that one is because it was my first MMORPG game that I ever experienced that really was completely new to me. I had been playing console games, Mario Parties, N64s, 007s, and this game was like, whoa, this is a whole nother reality, like, and you can live in this reality.
It was mind-blowing, man.
Like, you can communicate with other people. Like, I mean, I literally spent time on that game where I would just go with other people to a little cavern. We would hang out and talk over the game. Yeah. Like, this is like, it was the interactive, at that time, instant messenger, you know, like the chat room kind of deal.
I was describing to you guys earlier the beauty of World of Warcraft, and I imagine EverQuest had something similar. It's like that gameplay loop of when you're playing with your friends and you're like feeling that you're progressing together and working together, like when you're questing. Yeah. And then handing that in, and then like in the downtime just dueling each other, and then like working, and then in the meantime getting all these new stats and feeling like you're being rewarded every like so often, especially in the early game. That loop is so addictive. Like you're just hanging out with your buddies, man. Yeah. And you're just like, it's
the other thing about that too that was kind of fun. I'm sorry, real quick, is that it's new. You know, like you don't have a clue what you're getting into, and that's kind of that brings you know, even when in life when you kind of do new things, sometimes it can be very exciting for you because you've never tried it, you don't know what to expect, you have no clue, and sometimes it can be great and it can be the best thing that ever happened in your life, and sometimes it can be the worst. But EverQuest was that for me. There was no MMORPG at that time. When you went to a new zone, you were like,
what the hell?
What do I do? Where do
and it
I
was
go?
scary too. Like
it was
there's
scary.
like a risk to doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my close second. Was EverQuest, but So
and
then
people who don't know about that one. That one's like a fantasy kind of game where you have druids and rogues and bards and paladins, and you go roaming around questing and having to get like gear. Like most of these games, that RPG games, have to get gear to get yourself better. And you progress through levels. So this was something new, and it actually became pretty addicting too because I had never been involved in a game where it was like you got
the bar go up.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like, and you're like, I want to do it faster. I want to do it. You know, I want to get to that max level and be able to enjoy those other parts of the game. You know, that can.
Yeah, you're hitting, like, my synapses in my brain are going off right now. It's ridiculous. Like, my brain's like, yeah, that's fun. Let's do it right now.
What are we doing, guys?
Let's go ahead and go down the line. Okay, Alan, what's yours?
Fuck, man.
We have to skip Alan.
Might have to be EverQuest. Also, I don't know. In recent, oh no, that's too. Yeah, skip me for now.
Okay,
I don't know.
Let's go, Steven. What do you got? What do you got for us?
I have to say The Sims.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Just
That was
because, yeah, no.
I'm like, what? I mean, that's a great
kind of
game.
addicting, but, you
All
know,
the language in there, they're like Marblog.
It was cool though. I think it was his Sims voice. Skype was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my."
Yeah. Like Sims.
I was
It
gonna
was
say,
like,
so
does
that
not
Steven.
compute.
Let's go
I
on
was
to the next
talking
one.
with Sim's voice, and like you guys just froze, and you guys were actually listening. I'm like, are you guys? Wait, are you taking me serious right now? And you guys are like just sitting there looking at me like, I'm like,
Keep going, Steve-O.
all right, got back. But no, I'd have to say it would have been World of Warcraft, man. Honestly, my favorite game of all time. I mean, I know I played a lot of games like City of Heroes before that, and then that got me into World of Warcraft. Rocco did.
Same thing here. Yeah.
Also
I don't
because
know.
yeah, it was brand new. I can remember the first time playing it. I got on. I remember I was sick. I was sick that night. I had taken like 2 leave. I was like literally like probably 102
Fucking
temperature.
high.
Dude, no, I wasn't high.
I
I
had
was not high.
amphetamine. He was just going crazy.
But we were playing it, and I remember Rocco coming down to like the section, and I was like, Rocco, there's so many characters. What do I play? And Rocco said play a paladin, because I was like, I want to do someone that does damage and like
Be the
is crazy.
healer, bro.
No, he just he's like,
Rocco.
Me
Like,
while
oh,
I
yeah,
kill
paladins
shit.
do- no, he said, "Oh no, paladins do crazy damage, man. They do crazy damage." He was like, "I'm like, okay, cool." And as I'm playing, I'm like, probably at a level 10. I'm like, dude, these guys don't do a lot of damage. He's like, "Oh, they do on the higher levels. They do on the higher levels."
Yeah,
And this is
just
free
keep going,
before anything else. And for you guys that don't know what paladin is, they're basically like they can heal really good, or they can be like a tank. You know, they really don't do damage and everything like that. They're just like.
Unless you're a ret paladin, okay? Retribution paladins can do some damage. Yeah, exactly.
Fucking burst
Yeah.
damage, dude. It is awesome. And you get 3 bubbles, which is to say you get like 3 abilities that like nothing can hit you.
Yeah,
And so you're just like,
I'm gonna go on a tangent and say, Steve, you just didn't play it right.
No,
dude,
I
if you were
played it.
playing in the Burning Crusade, the
No,
Redditans.
Burning Crusade was the better one. Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is like vanilla. Wow, this is like
Oh.
this is
Rocco,
like
that's cruel, man. You
That's
made
what
him
I'm
play a
saying.
paladin in vanilla
I-
WoW. Like,
I know.
yeah.
That's so
But
lame.
you said you can be a reckoning paladin. He says, but you get the
guess the
Arcanite
red
Reaper.
bombs.
You said you get the Arcanite Reaper, which is like something you had to like get a bunch of
okay,
mats for.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. And you remember like the one thing where like you build up attacks and then you release them all at once, like 5
Seal
attacks.
command.
Rep bomb.
Yeah.
The Ret Bomb, that's what it was called. But then they nerfed it, and then like that was it. That was the damage. It was all gone.
For all you
So, like-
non-gamers out there, nerfing means they changed the mechanics of the game and made it worse
Basically.
for that player.
They just didn't make it as powerful, right? Like,
Yes, and
Downgrade them.
I guess what I'm trying to say is just that it was great because, like, you know, like I got to play with my cousin Rocco, like, and then we played with a bunch of friends, and it was just like this whole new dynamic. And you got to go on 40-man raids and play with a whole bunch of other people and get to meet a whole bunch of people. It was, I loved it, man. That was probably my favorite game of all time, and we're still playing it today. So
Hey, something about that too. I actually didn't think about is raids, man. I actually didn't get involved in raids until World of Warcraft, and a raid is being something where we get a bunch of people together to accomplish beating a boss inside the game.
yeah, World of Warcraft had 40 people had to communicate and
40
coordinate and be organized together to kill one fucking thing.
Yeah.
did they do that in
And-
EverQuest? How many people? Did they
Well,
do that for
EverQuest had raids and stuff. I just never did raiding in
You
EverQuest.
could do like 100 people.
100
Yeah.
people
EverQuest
rates.
or
Yeah,
something. You could do
Yeah.
like ridiculous amounts of people.
Yep.
Like
It's hard enough.
there was no limit.
kind of
I don't
lag?
think.
Nope, there wasn't.
Yeah.
It's
There
hard
was
It
enough
doesn't matter
getting
because
5
you only
people.
push like 3 buttons to play it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, even if people do disconnect, like, you always have, like, enough people. I only did a very limited amount of raiding. I was kind of, like, in a guild where we would, like, go do stuff, and I joined a little bit later in EverQuest, like, after
Yeah,
the
you're trying to
third
remember the
expansion came
expansions
out.
names.
Yeah, Velius
Yeah.
came out after
Yeah.
Velius came out. So, like, some of the early stuff was easier to kill. We could do it with, like, I don't know, like 30 people instead of 100 people. So
Yeah.
I could see like how a little bit of experience, but basically you just wait around, and then when the thing gets there, you push like your 1 damage button, and then
That's cool.
So, Clay, what's yours, man?
Yeah, so I've been desperately trying to think of this, and as usual, I'm going to have a winded answer. There is a couple, like, Okay, for me to have a favorite game, this is the fucking hardest goddamn question, and I think it's unfair, Ian.
I know.
And I call erroneous on this topic, but I think like I obviously will have favorites in every like category, but when it comes down to it, I gotta think of like a game that's really impacted me a lot, and so World of Warcraft is right there.
Mhm.
I also think about Metal Gear Solid because
yeah.
the way narratives
Yeah.
and just the way that games are viewed, like there's one thing like for Final Fantasy to just have straight cinematics to tell a story, but the way a game can be displayed and like produced to look like a movie and feel like a movie through just interacting, Metal Gear like was just amazing at. And then I think about Mega Man X and just everything that game inherently taught me about video games, and it like was amazing. So
Mega Man X, you said?
yeah, that game
Elaborate
was
on that one. I don't know that one.
Mega Man X is the Super Nintendo version of the Mega Man games. It was the next step, the next evolution in their platforming franchise, Mega Man. And basically,
Mega Man looks like the bomb. Is he like the blue guy? That's like
he's a
bald?
blue guy. He can
Okay,
shoot,
gotcha.
right? You jump. There's
Yeah.
a really great. I mean, everybody should know this. Is
Yeah.
the YouTube video from Ego Raptor about why Mega Man X is such an amazing game, especially compared to Mega Man, like how they improved. And it just
Put
teaches
notes.
you everything off the bat, right through just interactive gameplay, as opposed to tutorials and someone popping up and yelling at you. And like just that game in general, like I played the shit out of it. It was just so well crafted. I'm always like when I'm designing games at work, I'm always just wishing I could like be like, yeah, and then you steal the boss's power, because like I just want to I want to create that. I want to build that.
It's
So
like, wait, you just built Mega Man.
yeah, I know.
Again.
It's okay. It was super successful.
Man, yeah, I really think.
I agree with you on the Metal Gear, though. I played a few of those, and those are amazing. They're also
Yeah.
extremely difficult. You know,
Yeah, they're
Like-
hard stealth games.
they're very hard stealth games. But it was a cinematic when I was playing it. I was playing in a movie,
Yeah.
is what it felt like.
Yeah, in terms of narrative, cinematic feel, that's where they were pushing the envelope. I think that Mega Man X is one of the most like solid platform games because like I think hands down I'm a platform guy,
Yeah.
and Mega Man X was the top tier for me. And then WoW, man, WoW was just like 10 years I've been playing it and plus. And like that game has so many fond memories for me. It was my second MMO. And I was gonna ask you this, Steve, earlier, like why you thought City of Heroes didn't capture and have the same magic as WoW, because I played City of Heroes first,
Yeah, so did I.
and I was like, cool, an MMO, great, and that was neat, but it wasn't anything compared to playing WoW. Like,
yeah. Wow,
I just-
I don't know that one either, huh?
It just got. I think City of Heroes mainly. I played that. I think more than any of you guys did, because I played that for a long time.
yeah,
I
I
actually
couldn't
had
get to
two
level
like
20,
level
but-
60 characters and everything like that on that. I think it was mainly because it didn't bring people in. It didn't bring people in like. There was no easy way to get members, looking for members, and like you had to basically go to a place, and it wasn't like a thing where you
It didn't feel
where
like
you
a
got
world,
gear.
right?
You didn't get gear. You didn't
Yeah.
get gear. You got like little things that you can upgrade your abilities.
That's true.
But it was everyone was pretty much on even ground there. And I think that's the dynamic that really brought it down, is that you weren't working towards anything. You just got to 60 and you were like standing around. You want to do something else? Like, do you want to go do this? It didn't, there was nothing else to the game. You know
The
what
other
I mean?
thing too is like PvP
That's
didn't
a good
really
point.
come into that game until a little later, right?
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
still sucked though, because you weren't
Yeah.
working towards anything. You weren't
Yeah.
working towards anything, and it wasn't. It's just basically like, in WoW, like you get to 60, and that's basically when the game begins. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
right,
there's
crazy.
so much stuff you can do. There's so much gear you can get. You can do this and do that. When you got to 60 in that game, it was just like,
The end game was
done.
bad. Yeah.
You're done.
I,
You're basically
I agree
done.
with you on that.
So
Because
I
I was
think
like that
that's what
Inferno
killed it.
tank, like would just like light up everything
Right.
around me. You know?
This-
And we'd kill the boss, and you wouldn't get jack shit for him. I mean,
What's
Yeah.
interesting
like-
too is like for whatever reason, the city, that environment didn't feel alive. It felt very gamey to me.
yes.
Right, and then but World
Very-
of Warcraft, like just the environments and cruising like through it felt like real. It felt more like I was more immersed. I guess probably because it was animals, and animals have this like you could just throw them in like a little
Natural
bit of a
thing.
forest, and it feels natural. But like when you
Yeah.
throw like a group of humans in the city walking around the streets, it kind of feels weird. And then
Well,
to
not
be
only
fighting
that-
in the middle of the streets like that, or there's just groups
Yeah,
of
like
gangs
how many
hanging
gangs
out,
can
like,
you have? Like there's a gang
Yeah.
right there, and then a couple feet there's another gang. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, where the fucking police? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I think that definitely hurt them. That was
Yeah.
and that's something I notice in a lot of other superhero MMOs like Champions and DC Universe. Like, it's just so unnatural the way they spread out their enemies. It just kind of takes you out of the game a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so to answer your question, Ian, I think I'm going to go with Mega Man X just because we've heard WoW, and as much as I love Metal
Yeah.
Gear Solid, it's not gameplay first.
Yeah,
So I will go Mega Man X.
I
There's
got
a story. Gotcha.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Alan, we gave you
Yeah.
enough time. I feel like.
All right.
You're on the spot.
And if we didn't,
Okay,
You
so if EverQuest and World of Warcraft are off the menu,
Yep.
then
86th.
I will just do it based completely on what game I have the most hours in my Steam library,
Oh, shit.
Okay.
which in this case will be XCOM, the
Nice.
the remake.
Yes.
The remake of
Okay.
XCOM from the 90s, I think, is when the originals came out. So that was kind of the first time I really started playing a turn-based game. It's not quite the same JRPG style turn-based, but it's still a turn-based game where you move, you position your squad, that's your turn, and then the enemy, in this case the aliens, get their turn and they reposition. And it's basically all about, if you can outflank and get like a better position versus the enemy.
So
And
Rocco would hate this.
This was just like incredible experience for me. Like I have never played this sort of game, like super tactical, planning out 5 turns in advance versus just kind of like playing in the moment and enjoying it. I've sank like 360 hours into that game.
But you have to though, man. Like each round is like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, well,
Something
that's
like
the thing,
that.
and it's so, and the incentive in that one is that if you lose a squad member, they're
Oh.
dead forever, and like that's it.
For
So,
realsies.
Yes.
so yeah,
Yeah.
so I think you have like a lot of attachment to each of
Yeah.
these moves that you do. You're
I've
not
re-
like just
I've
like, yeah, I'm
reset
gonna
a
go
game.
attack full assaults, and then like they just gun you down because that's how it would happen in real life. They're just like, you have to really be particular about where you put everybody. And another good thing is you can rename your squad. So what I like to do is give everybody a name of somebody I know in real life.
Yeah. That's so much
that
fun.
Way, that way you
I've
can
done
kind
that.
of like really have an attachment. Be like, okay, like Clay, you gotta move here, man, but be careful, okay?
Yeah.
Very good.
And then he
Yeah.
runs, and then all of a sudden, like an alien comes out of a corner, and you're just like, oh no, and then and then it does a little cutscene when like somebody shoots, and then I think there's a chance based on all the conditions that gives them a chance to hit you, and so you see, and you don't know what's gonna happen, and then like all of a sudden he's running, and then it just whizzes by him, and he makes it to the cover, and you're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
But then sometimes, you make it towards the end of the game, and then all of a sudden an alien just pops out of nowhere, like one of your characters that's been like leveled up high because there's still like a RPG system to it. He all of a sudden gets capped, and you're like back to square one. You don't even have a full squad. Like the next closest guy is like level 1, and you're just like, wow, I might not be able to even beat the game at this point.
That's when you slip your.
Well, I got it. You said it was on Steam?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
man.
played it on Xbox for my first time, and
Oh, okay.
I didn't know it came out on anything else. I love that game, dude. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that on Steam definitely then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alan
'Cause
was
I did the
streaming
same
it
thing like
on twitch.tv/maelstrom.
yeah, but I thought he was streaming on like on PlayStation, but
No,
he has
no.
Xbox, right? Okay, I thought he was streaming on Xbox, but I'm gonna definitely get it then because I love that game, dude. And I just like your character attachment,
Yeah.
dude. I remember resetting the game because I didn't want that person to die.
No,
And I
dude, you
did-
gotta do Iron Man mode. Iron
No,
Man
I
mode,
didn't
no
do that.
saving.
Would you
No
guys
saving.
say, okay, let me ask you a question. If they pulled out the naming of the characters, would that change a lot for you?
No, it wouldn't change a lot, but it would change a little bit. Like, it's nice to be able to customize. Like, obviously, in every game, you always want some customization.
Yeah.
I feel like no matter what, you always want some sort of
You want some
customization
agency.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's not,
to make it more personal, right?
Yeah.
But I think even then, I've played with just like the names they give you, and you still get attached to these people because you have to guide them through each mission
Yeah,
and
well,
hope they
something like
survive.
that.
So even when I play with, and I don't rename every character because it's tedious to also do that sometimes.
Mm.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
it's awesome.
There's a game called Massive Chalice.
I have that.
And, right.
Yeah.
and it's made from the Double Fine guys.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot of respectability to it, but they purposely chose not to allow you to rename the characters,
Right.
because they didn't want you to get connected to the characters as much as like the surname, like the because the idea is that you also breed, right?
It's a little bit longer timeline in that.
Right.
Yeah, you like make these characters have children, and then they carry on your missions, and then when they get older, that you have them have children, and then their children carry out the missions and stuff. So yeah, it's not as much about each particular soldier, because they're kind of expendable, and you get rid of them in like when I haven't played a whole lot of it, but like I would only have characters for, I don't know, maybe 2-3 missions or so, because they would get old, because it's like years go by between each one.
When you're building when you have to build a building, it takes a while.
Yeah.
Rocky's doing something crazy.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm in a city somewhere.
Is this an EverQuest?
Oh, Kellison!
For all you nerds out there that don't know what this is some EverQuest music right here.
Right here.
Oh, this is such a good song, though.
Walking through the town.
I would listen to that soundtrack like just to do it. Just so
Oh yeah, I would just
great
camp.
music.
Yeah, I would just camp in that city and just like
yeah, exactly, man. I love that stuff.
MIDI
Man.
soundtrack, so
Some
good.
awesome soundtracks there
That's
from
awesome.
EverQuest.
Well, great.
Everything's awesome.
That's right.